Welcome to the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country. This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
It's the Daily Bhuja, most people would know. They're the stars of the very own radio show. There ain't no other, I'm not sad to say, so stay under the table, cause they've been drinking people under for days. Keep on talking if they don't like what they hear. They'll have the guts for land dispose it right between your ears. Smooth talkers, they got the gift of the gab. As far as mum's concerned, say hello to your new dad.
G'day New Zealand, welcome to Daily Bhuja. Great to have your company this Thursday afternoon. It's the 18th of October 2018. Would you describe yourself, Lee, as a smooth talker?
Not really.
No. What about you, Tom? Would you describe yourself as a smooth talker?
Smooth as honey, mate.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Gift of the gab.
Gift of the gab. You've definitely got the gift of the gab. But there you go. Hey, New Zealand, great to have your company this Thursday afternoon. How are you fellas? You all good?
Yeah, pretty good, mate, pretty good. Love the Thursday shows.
Yeah, mate. And I tell you what, it's going to be a doozy too. We've got Tom Abercrombie and Ty Wesley from the New Zealand Breakers coming in a little bit later on.
Today?
Yeah, today.
I wish I would have done some prep if I'd done that.
Oh, well, I don't think they're coming until about 5:30, so you still can if you want to.
We'll be pushing it now.
Yeah. Also, we've got a whole new initiative on Daily Bhuja, which we're really excited to announce.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but it's about regular bloody good Kiwis, looking after them. You know?
Which has been a segment of our show, actually, Bloody Good Kiwis, but we realised we were having a pre-show sort of chat, and we realised there's so many bloody good Kiwis out there that we miss, that we don't know anything about. And we want to give people in New Zealand the opportunity of letting us know about all the bloody good Kiwis. But more on that, as you say, later on.
A bit later on. We're going to be talking about hiking a bit later on. I've got an apology, if that's all right. We may bring back Shoe Chat. It was an old segment we used to have a little while back.
Nice.
And it says here, Jay says something intelligent.
Okay. Here's Blind Melon. That was a jaunty little number there, Lee Hart. Blind Melon on Radio Hodaki Thursday afternoon. Do you know, I was thinking, talking of me saying something intelligent, which is rare. Do you remember?
I wasn't meaning that. It was just in the log.
Jay says something intelligent.
Jay says something. I thought you must have had some sort of special chat you wanted to.
Well, it was funny you should say that, because as I was walking from the car park today into the studio, I remembered that quote that old Ted Teasdale used to say to us all the time. Do you remember that one? And it was, if the world was blind, Jace, how many people would you impress? And for a upcoming radio DJ, that was an inspiring thought, because what he was saying is, what you say, not what you look like or what clothes you're wearing, but what you say is what matters to impressing people. You know what I mean? I'll never forget Ted saying,
especially on radio, because they can't see you.
Well, exactly.
And that's more about what you say. Yeah, right. When did he say that was? That was
when we were doing the course. But he used to text me all the time. You know, when if I had a bad show or something like that, just to sort of lift me up and remind me why I was doing radio. If the world was blind, Jace, how many people would you impress? Never forget it.
How many do you think you would?
Well, 2 or 3.
He was blind at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had gone blind, Ted, sadly. But it never slowed him down, though, did it? He still had a very active, or still does have a very active life and stuff. But
I think he's got his eyesight back again now. Is it kind of has he? I'm not sure. I haven't seen him for a while.
Was it a temporary blindness, was it? I thought it was a permanent sort of...
He sort of went colourblind initially, and then he lost all colour at all. And I think it slowly came back.
Did you know,
retinas, I think.
An interesting fact about me, I couldn't join the army when I left school because I'm colourblind.
Same.
And I'm flat-footed. And so those two combinations actually stopped me from joining the armed services. Otherwise, I could have been an officer by now. You know, I could have been a top-ranking military official. What's that, Tom?
Is that why you didn't join the army?
Well, that's the two of the reasons.
Just those two reasons.
2 reasons. I was flat-footed and I was colourblind.
I had a mate who was blind in one ear and deaf in one eye.
Was he?
And it sounds extraordinary now to hear that, but...
Well, he wouldn't have.
Well, that's how it was for him, because cognitively his brain was wired up wrong.
Right.
So he wasn't actually blind. He wasn't deaf in one ear, but that's how it came across to him.
Is that the same guy who used to kick with his hands and write with his feet?
No, different guy.
Different guy.
Right, okay. But did he try and get into the army? Did he?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not as far as I know, Jason.
Right, good stuff. Hey, let's have a bit of Marilyn Manson. Oh, come on. Hodak it. Oh, yes, indeed. You're listening to Radio Hodaki. Lee Hard to Jason Hoyt and young Tom from Studio B in the studio with us right now.
You tell him, Jace. You tell him.
Thanks, mate.
What are we, about 3 breaks in?
Yeah, about 3 breaks in. Yeah. How are you feeling about the show so far? I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Not too bad. It's good to know where we are in the show so I can tailor the content. I'll tell you what, though. Can I do a bit of an apology?
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Okay, I don't need any music for this, Tom. It's just purely just a straight out apology. It hasn't really reared its head yet, this issue, but on yesterday's show, you'll recall I was talking about Neil Armstrong and NASA once again.
Yes, indeed, and the whole testicle debacle.
That's right. I made the comment that at some stage, Buzz Aldrin, in fact, used to regularly get his scrotum of his testicles or perhaps his foreskin caught in the
zipper of his
spacesuit.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And that's how they invented
because
Velcro.
of course the first spacesuits, they were zippers, weren't they? And then they went to the buttons, but that's how Velcro came to be.
Well, that's right, because if this kept happening, they couldn't, especially in space, it could not happen.
Yeah.
So they went to Velcro, and this is how NASA have people think it's because they're trying to learn about the cosmos. Often it's just a simple thing like getting your scrotum caught in your zipper, which will enable NASA to change our lives. But I made the mistake of saying it was Buzz Aldrin.
Right, okay.
So apologies to his people and his family, and indeed Buzz. But in fact, it actually was Jim Lovell. Remember Jim Lovell, the astronaut from Apollo 13?
Oh, he was getting a scrotum caught in the zip all the time. Okay.
Was having a lot of the issues.
It's actually amazing because when you think about what it requires to be an astronaut, I mean, they have to be pretty heavy-duty, hardcore
That's
sort of men and women. The fact that this guy was consistently getting his testicles caught in a zipper, they may have been asking some questions. Is this guy
about
suitable?
Selection.
Suitable for the job.
But it just kind of happens, and I think we've got the big gloves on. You're trying to pull the zips up.
The gloves wouldn't make it easy, that's for sure.
And you recall Apollo 13, of course, they had that issue, and the very famous quote, of course, was, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's what it was. It was when Jim Lovell actually caught his scrotum in the zipper, Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
And it was later on, in fact, a day later, that the ship, the capsule, had all the problems, the technical issues that they had. That wasn't even attributed to the original Houston, we have a problem.
I guess it wouldn't have made as good a movie, I suppose, if Houston, we have a problem, and it's just a guy with his testicles caught in a zipper.
Well, they sort of started the movie kind of, after that fact.
It's interesting, though, you talk about Velcro being a better scenario in terms of, I've given myself some good waxing with the old Velcro at times, you know what I mean?
You're right.
I mean, it's not, if you get your hairy testicles caught in some Velcro, and you're ripping that Velcro down, it's not a pleasant experience, mate.
The astronauts, of course, will be wearing the space diapers. They won't be...
Oh, do they have diapers, do they?
Well, of course.
What, so they do poos when they're in their suits?
That's right. So they wouldn't be wearing the suit. They wouldn't be going commando in a spacesuit. If you know what I'm saying. So anyway, apologies to Buzz Aldrin and his team. And probably tomorrow I'll do apologies to Jim Lovell. But just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, that's nice, mate. That's nice. Orange Crush there, REM on Radio Hodaki this Thursday afternoon. Now, Lee, as top radio DJs and as a top radio show, it's incumbent upon us to constantly innovate, to constantly do things a little bit differently, and to try new segments. And with that in mind, I am very excited about our next segment because it's something that's very dear to your and my heart.
Now we're just going to sort of build it up. Introduce it?
I think introduce it, let people know what it's all about. And it's simply called Lee and Jace's Bloody Good Kiwis.
That's right. Let's face it. Every now and then, you and I are out and about. We bump into bloody good Kiwis all the time.
Absolutely,
people
mate.
going over and above the Call of Duty.
Yes.
The guy that and he's helping out in cake stands. He's doing charity work.
He's doing coaching of young kids, or
That's
she,
right.
you know
That's
what I
right.
mean? Or they're making costumes or the school production out of their own, out of their own pocket, out of their own time,
Yeah,
that sort of
that's
thing.
right.
Maybe making, donating food and things like that, or building properties for people that don't have properties, things like that, Lee Hart.
Yep, that's right. And they're all through this country, men and women, young and old, and that's the kind of stuff this show's all about. We're well behind that, always have been. So what we want to do, we want to recognise it.
It's not actually possible for us to know all the bloody good Kiwis out there, is
That's
it?
right.
I mean, and there's a lot of Kiwis out there that know bloody good Kiwis. That's why things like Mucking In and things like that are such popular shows,
And
Lee
they
Hart.
kind of do a version of this in many ways on the good sorts sort of section, but that's a bit naff.
Yeah.
I mean, what we want real people that are actually, I'm not saying the people in that show are naff. I'm just saying, look, what I'm saying is there's bloody good Kiwis out there, and you and I are in a great position to reward them.
Absolutely.
So what we want to do is get people to text in or phone in and dob in a bloody good Kiwi. Tell us what they're doing. Did they drown some kittens for you? Did they help you find your lost...
Well, I don't know that drowning kittens would be the sort of thing we're looking for, is it?
Oh, so there's a different segment. I'm getting confused. But no, well, in a way, if you were humanely trying to put down some kittens...
Yeah, well, I
you didn't want
wouldn't
to
put them in a sack and drown them, and I don't know, that's not particularly humane. I mean, take them to the SPCA or something like that, at least give them a chance of being adopted. And I mean, if they're not going to be adopted by someone at the SPCA, there's a chance they can put them down
maybe you're someone that's
humanely.
adopting kittens that were going to get put down, but you've chosen to adopt them all.
Maybe you're a cat lady or man, you know what I mean? And you've got thousands of cats, things like that.
Yeah, you're living right in the white tax there, and you've got maybe 500 feral cats living in your yard, and you're feeding them. Yeah, who knows who these people are?
Feeding them out of your own pocket, things like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're not looking for any kind of charity, but there's also something very exciting about this segment, Lee Hart, because when we do find a bloody good Kiwi, mate, tell
That's
them
right.
tell them what we want to do.
Well, mate, it's this simple. If you're a bloody good Kiwi, you can be winning $10,000 cash, thanks to Jason Lee's bloody good Kiwis right here. So you get dobbed in. We'll vote on the show who is going to be the bloody good Kiwi, and they'll get $10,000 cash. I know they probably don't want the money because they're bloody good Kiwi.
Well, it's their prerogative. If they want to get it away, or if they want to adopt more cats, for example, they can do that, and it can help them pay for the food and things like that. So either give us a call or text us on 3483, because this is something we are very, very excited about, mate. Very excited about. In the meantime, here's Arctic Monkeys. Arctic Monkeys there on Radio Hodaki this Thursday afternoon. Very nice to have your company in New Zealand. Can I just read this text here, Lee?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Bhuja team, Corey Skipper here, waiting in duty free for my flight to LA. Can't wait to see Gorillaz live. Huge thank you to Radio Hodaki for this amazing opportunity,
Yep.
and I think Tom's doing a great job. Good on you, Tom. There you go,
was that
mate.
really that last bit on there, was it?
Yeah, it was on there.
Yeah, I used to work with them in an orchard.
Was that right?
Yeah, years and years ago, we used to pick nectarines and
I actually got
peaches
fired
and-
from an orchard job.
Oh, for what
Yeah,
for?
Christchurch.
Bloody hard work.
In a fruit fight.
Yeah, it's bloody hard work, the old orchard work. I did a bit of that myself, actually.
Can be.
Jeez.
Can be. Another thing I want to mention, that's obviously someone listening to the show and off overseas. A lot of people overseas and out of town listen to the show.
Yes.
And let's face it, some of the frequency issues we've had around the country, we can't do a lot about that. But people can listen to the show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, they do.
Or on the Hauraki website, the app. They can listen to the show still. So there's no excuse for not listening.
Absolutely, New Zealand. I'm a bloody good Kiwi. Every time I drive a customer's car, I change the radio station to Hodaki and set all the preset channels to Hodaki.
Yeah, and sometimes you can superglue them too.
Yeah. Well, we've always said, listen to Daily Bhuja and just rip that knob off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the dial off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think people should be encouraged to do that. I was a little bit disappointed we got no calls about bloody good Kiwi. I'm getting a sense, Lee Hart, and I could be wrong in this, correct me if you think I am wrong, that people think that maybe we're full of it a bit.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's the sort of country we are. What's 10 grand? People don't need it. They don't care. They're just getting on with their lives. That's fine. Oh, here's a caller.
Okay, let's take a caller right now then. Hello, caller, you're on the Bhuja line. Who are we speaking to?
Gareth, how you going?
Yeah, good, Gareth. Yourself?
Good.
What's up,
I'd like
buddy?
to nominate a bloody good Kiwi.
Yeah, good on you, man. Go for it.
Name's Morris, and he's the groundsman at Beach Haven Bolt Club.
Right.
Yeah.
And he does that voluntarily. He has done since the inception of the club, and I think he's the only the groundsman on the North Shore in terms of bowling that does that free of charge.
Right.
He has done since the inception of the club.
Gee, how long's that then? Like 80 years or something?
No, the club was introduced in the 80s.
Oh, yeah?
He's just a true blue Kiwi who...
Bloody good Kiwi. What was his...
Bloody good Kiwi.
What was his name?
Morris.
Morris.
We call him Mo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's put Morris down there.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
This. What category should we put him in? Sporting, support,
/ recreational.
And he's a bloody good bowler too.
Is he?
there you go.
What about yourself?
Camp a number of times.
What about yourself? Are you a good bowler?
I'm there for the bevies more than the bowling.
Yeah. Bloody cheap beer at bowling clubs.
Bit of a problem down there that don't sell Wakachangas.
Right, okay.
Well, a lot of the bowling clubs are getting it on, so see if you can do that, and you'd be a bloody good Kiwi.
I'm mainly down there for ladies myself.
Right. Good on you, man. Hey, well, thank you for the call, and we'll put Morris down on our list. Thanks, buddy. There you go, eh? Morris. There's a lot of people to do that, actually. A lot of groundsmen and stuff like that, I know when I was a cricket umpire, a lot of people, do pitches and stuff like that and do a lot of work in that area without any kind of recompense financially.
And often with cricket, they get abused.
Well, they do.
As well.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Umpires and stuff, don't they?
Yeah, very much so.
There's a lot of weirdos in cricket like that, and they're really highly strung.
Well, they say it's a gentleman's game, but I think not.
Yeah.
I think not. Hey, let's take a break. This is Bhuja.
Bhuja Vanaka.
All thanks to Fiji Airways. Welcome to our home.
Yes, indeed. Radio Hodaki and Fiji Airways presents Bhuja Vanaka. You and two mates could be joining Lee, myself, and the Night Wolf from Bhuja. Poolside at Doubletree Resort by Hilton Hotel, Fiji, Sonosali Island. You'll enjoy 4 nights of sun, sand and cocktails, and maybe a spot of fishing too. All thanks to Fiji Airways. Welcome to our home. Now, to be able to do this, just register at hodaki.co.nz and be ready to answer your phone saying Bhuja Vanaka. If you answer with this greeting, we'll put you in the draw. If not, then we won't.
That greeting again, please, Jace.
Bhuja Vanaka.
Nice.
Let's make some calls, see if people are paying attention, shall we, Lee Hart?
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
You've been like a telephone salesman, one of those people. Oh, I think we've lost this one.
Yeah, can him, Tom. We'll try another one, my friend. It's not far away, actually, this trip, is it?
Not far away at all.
Sort of November. It'll be beautiful weather over there.
I might head over beforehand just to suss it out.
You think we should do like a recce or something,
Yeah.
maybe? Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Promo video.
Maybe speak to Mike and see what we can do.
Sounds like me playing the guitar, isn't it? New Bohemian Rhapsody guitar. Riveting stuff.
It's great radio.
Hello.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Who are we speaking to?
Brett.
Brett, how you going?
Just turn your radio down, Brett, and see if you can sort that out.
Oh, yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better, mate. Was it Brett, was it? Brett?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yo. Sorry, I had to get it off Bluetooth.
No, that's all good, mate. That's all good. How's your day going, Brett?
Yeah, not too bad.
Sweet. On your way home from work,
For the
obviously?
weekend. Yeah.
Nice. What are you doing
heading down the busy Northwestern.
Yeah.
Have you had enough of the old winter and this kind of weather? You ready for a holiday overseas, somewhere hot?
Shit, yeah, mate. I'm a drain layer by trade, so I'm definitely over the winter. Over sticky gumboots and crappy rain.
I bet you are, mate. Who would you take with you, Brett?
Oh, mate, it would have to be my wife, I think.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. And a mate, maybe, as well.
Yep, that would definitely help. Yeah,
Sweet.
take mate.
Well, I'll tell you what you need to do. Just stay on the line, and our good mate Petra in Studio B will get all your details. Good luck with that, Brett.
Okay, beauty. Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Good
mate.
luck. Thanks.
Tell you what, I did drain laying as one of the first jobs I did in Christchurch. Tough.
Yeah, it
Tough,
would be.
tough work.
And particularly in winter, as he said, bloody
Yeah.
mud and rain and...
Christchurch, frozen ground.
Oh, here's a great song. Last Goodbye, Jeff Buckley. Oh, yes, absolute doozy there, Jeff Buckley. Last Goodbye. Can I just say to you...
Bit of
Lee,
Jeff Buckley. Oh, yeah, sorry.
can I just say to you, mate, you don't drown by falling in the water. You drown by staying there, mate.
Well, Jeff Buckley did.
Oh, he did too. Actually, it's probably not an appropriate time to do that quote. Just in hindsight.
You got a whole lot of quotes there or something? Or
Well, you just said that Jace will say something intelligent
didn't
at some
Ted
point.
Teasdale say that?
No, he said the one about if
Being blind.
the world were blind, how many people would you impress? Mm-hmm. An interesting thing happened to me today. It's not a slice of life or anything, and it's not funny or anything like that. I went to the gym, right, and I'm there and I'm hating it like I'm normally doing, and I'm going through my set, and at the end of my set, I have the two exercises which I hate the most.
Burpees.
Well, yeah, and I hate them, and so I spend my entire time at the gym going, oh, God, I've still got to do those two at the end there, and that just bums me out. So today I went to the gym, I did the two things I hate the most first, and the rest of it was a piece of piss. And I went,
Yep.
why haven't I done that before?
That's what I've done with my sex life now. I've changed it totally around. So what I'll do now with the positions I'm least comfortable with and least...
You'll start off
adept
with
at,
those.
I'll get those out of the way. And then I'll work into the stuff that I'm more familiar with and that I think I'm okay at.
Well, there's a certain precarious element to that, though, because if you're starting with the things you're least comfortable with, you could fall apart a little bit, and then you're not going anywhere.
But at least I can restart again, and at least I've given it a go. It's out of the way. But the other way around, I'm dreading the whole thing.
How many positions are we talking about here now?
Well, same as most, but there's 3, isn't there?
What in total?
Well, how many do you have?
A few more than 3.
15, 18?
Bhuja with KFC. Catch a Surf Safe Burger Bundle tonight.
This is Hodaki News.
In this update, Doc has confirmed the helicopter that crashed with 3 people on board this morning near Wanaka was on its way to undertake tower control. All 3 people on board the Hughes 500 helicopter died, including pilot Nick Wallace, son of well-known aviation entrepreneur Sir Tim Wallace. MP Jamie Lee Ross has released screenshots of text messages between himself and National Party General Manager Greg Hamilton discussing electoral donations. He says it shows National knew about legality issues relating to a $100,000 donation from a Chinese businessman back in September. A Turangi father has been jailed for a minimum non-parole period of 17 years for killing his 9-month-old daughter. A man police describe as dangerous is loose in Auckland after fleeing his Waitakere court hearing about 5 yesterday. An alert for parents after a series of creepy posts on community Facebook pages asking children to pour slime, gunge or custard on themselves and a man. And Grammy-winning singer Michael Bublé is shutting down rumours he's going to retire, saying he was misquoted. That's news. In sport, a coup for Auckland's ASB Tennis Classic. Former world number 4 Thomas Burdick is signed to play the ATP tournament for the first time. The 33-year-old has been a perennial top 10 ranked player throughout his career. Silver Ferns coach Nolene Todu is loving the war of words coming out of the Diamonds camp. Australia have been vocal in their desire to bounce back with fierceness in tonight's 4th Constellation Cup test in Wellington, having been stunned in Hamilton. Basketball New Zealand believe Paul Henare's heightened coaching workload will further benefit the Tall Blacks. The current Tall Blacks coach will join Melbourne United as an assistant coach after leaving the Breakers at the end of the last Australian Basketball League season. That's sport. I'm Raylene Ramsey.
Mostly cloudy today with a few light showers. Should find up by this evening with southwesterly. 17 degrees the high, 10 overnight. For Friday, cloudy and a high of 20.
Welcome to the show for bloody good Kiwis across the country. This is Bhuja with Lee Hart and Jason Hoyt.
Yeah, sure is great to have your company this Thursday afternoon. Hope your day is going along nicely. Now, the time is 5:01, so it is time for Lee Hart's Name That Tune. Can I just tell you this week, Name That Tune is brought to you by Bohemian Rhapsody, the original soundtrack, in stores, on iTunes, and streaming this Friday, 19th of October. And every Name That Tune winner this week goes in the draw to win a limited edition electric Bohemian Rhapsody guitar, which is Lee playing it right now, which is a hell of a prize, Lee Hart. What have you got for us today, mate?
Yeah, thanks, mate. What I've done, just for those that are interested, the guitarists out there, the musos among us, I've done the drop D tuning again. Just to give it that
the what, sorry?
Drop D tuning, it's called.
Okay.
I've just dropped the top E string or the bottom E string down to D. Oh, sort of thought I did.
Can I ask you, did Herb make your first guitar?
Or
was that someone else?
He made my first shoes.
Oh, he made your first shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and I think there's a bit of a clue in what I'm going to play and the whole theme of this whole competition for those that have been paying attention.
Yep.
I don't want to give too much away, but it goes a little something like this.
Oh, yeah, nice. If you can name that tune, he's going to give us a call right now on 0800 Hodaki. Love to hear from you. Audio Slave there on Radio Hodaki. Thursday afternoon. Before that, we had Lee Hart's Name That Tune. Let's go to James on the phone. G'day, mate. James.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good, man. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Very good.
Where are you calling from, James?
I am just coming up to the Silverdale turn-off on the lovely Holiday Highway.
Can I just tell you a story about that? The other day I was heading up north to Mangawai, and I thought I would try to pull into the Snow Planet kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yep.
It was actually the go-kart place that's shut down now. They had kids in the car. I turned around, then I actually took the wrong turn off and ended up back on the motorway.
Oh.
And you can't get...
Done.
You go all the way back.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah.
God, that's frustrating.
I had that
Just about crossed over the middle lane.
I had the same experience where I was going to film Brokenwood, and I was on that motorway as well, and
So you're running late.
And I was running late to get on set, and then I went, oh my God, I've taken the right... Got back on the other way and went for miles
Almost right back into Auckland.
Yeah, it was just a pain. Now, James, can you name that tune?
Yep, I reckon it's American Woman by Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, I'd say. Well, after that big yarn we had, I kind of wish it was, but I'm afraid it's not, mate.
No,
but,
sorry,
very
James.
Good guess. Very good guess.
Oh, never mind.
Thanks for
Next
listening,
time.
buddy. Have a great afternoon. Let's go to Kia. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How's life?
Life as well. Very hot.
Yeah, where are you?
Next to Kaipoi, Wood End.
Oh, beautiful spot, yeah.
Lovely, Kia. All right, mate, can you name that tune?
Is it Queen, Killer Queen?
I'm not going to say where you've gone wrong there, but I'm just going to have to say no on this occasion.
Sorry, Kia. But enjoy the sun, buddy. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. Let's go to Natalia. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
How's life, Natalia? It is Natalia, isn't it?
Yes, Natalia.
Yeah, good. I just want to make sure I got it right, that's all. What's going on with Natalia at the moment?
I'm just at work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you single? Are you in a relationship?
I'm in a relationship.
Cool. I don't know why I asked.
Where's that coming from?
What
the hell's that about?
Just curious.
Jeez. Now, Natalia, can you name that tune?
Is it Fat Bottom Girls by Queen?
Woo! Yes, it is.
Sure is, Natalia. Well done. So stay on the line, and our good mate Petra will look after you in Studio B.
I'll tell you what, fellas.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks, mate.
I can't see Chewbacca, so what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do it!
And if he has an issue, we'll just blame Tom.
Take me home tonight.
Fat Bottom Girls, their Queen on Radio Hodaki. Good stuff. Good
There's
stuff.
a lot of continuity in the show when we get to play the song out, I feel.
Absolutely, man. And it's the Queen thing coming up this week. So
well, that's what I mean. Continuity with the competition we're doing.
Yeah, it just
Bohemian
works
Rhapsody.
on every level. On every level, Lee Hart.
Bloody good radio, it is.
Yeah,
Bloody
very good radio.
Now, look, you're one of these people that gets people to take their shoes off before they come into your house?
No.
What
about yourself?
Well, I never used to be, but I am now.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a bit of an incident when we first bought our house. What I didn't realise, because we hadn't had this before, you've been there, eh?
Yeah,
and it's got this
many times. So's Tom. Tom looked after it for you.
Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but we've actually got the underfloor heating in the concrete.
Yes.
I didn't realise this until we'd been in there a while, and we cranked it right up. So this is pretty cool. Then a whole lot of people came over for a dinner party. Okay.
Yes.
And everybody's shoes melted.
Right.
Because there was so much heat coming underneath. So we ended up having plastic and rubber stains, when you get all that melted plastic on a road or something, all through the house.
Which would have been a nightmare and highly toxic.
Well, we still haven't cleaned it up.
Well, having thought about it, if it was that hot, maybe you could have a Barbie there.
It's
just chuck your meats onto the floor.
Well, it's not that hot. It's hot enough to soften up your soft shoes, your jandals or your soft-soled shoes.
Right.
And they get sticky. You're walking around the house.
Mind you, why would you put
your
on
feet sticking?
Why would you put on your heater if you were wearing jandals? Because presumably, if you're wearing jandals, it's quite warm.
Well, I'm just giving an example of the type of rubber.
Right, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, my normal plimsolls that had a rubber sole in that, they were sticking.
Well, look, I don't get people to take their shoes off when they come into my house, but I myself, I have a house shoe. So when I come home from work, I on the front door there, I take my I take my studio shoes off and I put my house shoe on.
They're the ones that are on the big wire, that so you don't lose them. So you walk around the house and they're still connected to the front door.
Yeah.
So you can walk through the whole house.
They're kind of like a combination between a slipper and a nomad. So they've got a big rubber sole and kind of a slippery.
Well, so you wouldn't want to wear those at my place when I have this heating on.
I wouldn't be able to move.
The other problem with that is, though, you need to wear some sort of thing when I've got the heating on because you can't wear bare feet, it's too hot.
Yeah.
So I just need to work out how I can adjust the heat on these things to get the floor, because it goes through a heck of a lot of power. You know how much electricity you go through if you're melting your shoes?
A lot, I'd imagine.
There you go, I don't either, but I bet it's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, now listen, we've got Tom Abercrombie and Ty Wesley from the Breakers coming up next, because I could see them in this.
Cool, aren't they?
Yeah, they're bloody tall. So we'll go to a tune and then we'll speak to the fellas. Great. Here's Lovely the Band.
Yeah, so basically you'd wring the juice out of that fresh rabbit and put that with your second jus and just let that steam away and just let it sort of.
But when you say wring the juice out of the rabbit, are we talking it's been cooked first, or is it still in its naked form?
Oh, it's skinned, of course. But
stuff.
you're just wringing that juice out, not too much.
Right.
You just put that with the first jus.
And you're putting that with the red wine as well.
Add that later.
Yeah, and a little bit of cracked pepper. Hey, listen, I'm very excited about our next guest. What I can tell you is that they're huge fans of the show, Lee Hart.
Yeah, that's right.
They're massive fans of the show. I am, of course, talking about Tom Abercrombie and Ty Wesley from the New Zealand Breakers. Fellas, g'day. Welcome to Daily Bhuja.
G'day, guys. Big fans.
Well, it's great to have you here. We're big fans, of course, of yourselves now. And you've got a busy season. I'm guessing, about 28 matches in an average season?
Great guess.
That was an amazing guess. Did you do some prep for this, did you?
No, I got a lot of games and I count them, yeah.
Have you ever seen Tom, by the way? Lee goes to a lot of Breakers games. Have you ever seen Lee there?
I have seen him courtside a couple of times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Does he some pretty good seats?
Does he control himself? Is he in control, or is he a loud sort of boisterous supporter?
I hope he's loud. We need more of that.
Yeah.
You do. Sure. You do. It's good.
Because we were talking about this just before we went on air, actually, because it was a bit shithouse last time, wasn't it? In the old tie. The first game, it was a bit quiet, it was a bit subdued, and that's not what you need in basketball. You need a bit of action, you need a bit of energy.
We do, absolutely. It was there was some crickets going on in our game, but as far as a basketball player, we need to be more exciting, and I think we showed that in our last game against Melbourne. So hopefully we get some fans and we get a little crazy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's one of those games, isn't it? The crowd's close to courtside. You can really feel it. You can hear them cheering, and it's a game of momentum, Jace. You wouldn't understand this. It's a game of momentum. You can really feel it when it's point for point. That final quarter, you need the crowd.
Yeah, it's one of those games where the crowd, you can literally be standing right behind the bench and you can talk to guys and get in their ear and try and put them off their game when they're on the free throw line and things. And not many sports have that.
Yeah. A bit of sledging from the sideline.
For sure.
Tom, as the captain of the side now, how has that changed your game? Are you a talking captain, or are you a follow me type captain?
I think I'm.
Can I answer that? Oh, no, that's probably best you answer.
Well, I mean, unless you were the captain of the if you were the captain of the Breakers, I could ask you.
No,
that.
that's fine. I'll just put some context.
What sort of basketball skipper are you, Lee Hart?
Well, I wasn't one.
Oh, okay.
That's my point.
Oh.
No, but carry on, Tom.
Or do you have
a
any
good
leadership
passion.
tips for me?
Well, it comes a point in your career, I suppose. I was going to ask you guys, what stage did you realise you're going to be, you're obviously both tall, good at basketball. Was there another sport that you were good at when you were young? Because it was easy for me to decide when I was young which way I was going to go.
Yeah, you were
sport.
always going to be a prop.
Well, I was always shit at all sports, so I just did nothing in the end.
Guys, what you don't know, Ty, and what you don't know, Tom, about Lee is that he was a professional rugby player over in France for a little while, but then he had a, what was it, a...
Seizure?
Or not a seizure, it was like a substance abuse issue.
Well, it was a seizure, really. I was arrested.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Those two could be related.
But how are you as a captain, Tom? How do you lead?
I like to think that I'm a good vocal leader out there, but someone who obviously sets a good example as well. I've been around the group for a long time now, so I've seen a lot of things at the club and like to share those experiences with the boys.
Fascinating stuff, Tom. Look, I'm just going to interrupt you there. We're going to go to some Weezer. We'll come back. We'll talk tactics.
Weezer there on Radio Hodaki this Thursday afternoon. We've got Tom Abercrombie and Ty Wesley from the New Zealand Breakers in the studio with us.
Let's talk about tactics themselves out there. I mean, you're often changing for each different team. Obviously, some teams are more offensive, more defensive. Have you ever thought of bringing a 3-2, 1-on-4 move where the forward come around, sliding on the 2, using the pin as the 1, coming back on the 5 so the 2 can free up, leaving the hoop? That coming back on and get you 3-2 moving back and forth on the 3-4.
I caught one of those words you said there. I think it was pin.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got.
You use a pin in your team.
We do have a play called pin.
Who's is Ty? Are you the pin in the side?
I am the pin. That
Right,
was actually
okay.
a great guess. I
Yes,
run down
yeah.
a set of
Yeah.
pin screen and
Yeah.
Webb comes
He
off
has
and
been
shoots
watching those courtside seats.
Well
they're
done.
good for something.
Do you guys
that was
ever
a good
do the jellyfish inward press, where basically you sort of absorb the opposition and then you float out again? Do you do that?
we stay away from the jellyfish.
Oh, you stay away from the
Yeah.
jellyfish. Okay. What about the alley-oop? The alley-oop's always a good one.
a great
Chuck
move.
it over the back of your head sort of thing and hope someone's there.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of the alley-oop.
Yeah,
crab?
Pardon?
Crab?
Crab dribble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
use that a lot in the post.
You do?
Yeah, for
Fantastic.
sure.
It's interesting though because basketball's not really meant to be a physical game, is it? I mean, it is a physical game. Don't get me wrong, but you're not tackling each other. But it's meant to. Is it meant to be no contact?
Oh, no,
I
if you
guess
look
by
at my
the
nose.
letter of the law.
Yeah.
This guy broke his nose in the preseason, so
Yeah.
a little bit of contact.
Who did that? Look at that.
Well, that was actually my own team.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, he went to block the ball and got my nose, so that was fun.
Injuries, of course, probably ankles mainly, I would say.
Yes. I've broken my ankle once before, which wasn't pleasant.
Skiing?
I wish I was skiing. No, I was trying to dunk it.
Oh, during the season?
Yeah,
Okay.
during the
Yep.
season. Got taken out from behind and came down.
You
and,
what? Sorry.
trying to dunk it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
So who are the big threats this season for you guys?
I might take that one as well, Jace. I'm guessing Sydney.
Sydney's up there for
Jeez,
sure.
you have done prep today. who on the Sydney side, Ty, is do you have to look out for?
Bogut?
My man's got it.
Bogut. Is he an Australian, is he? Is he Australian or is
Yeah.
he an import?
No, he's an Aussie. He's a former #1 pick from the NBA, so he's a
Right.
he's got a lot of NBA experience.
And so when you have someone like Bogut, say you're playing against someone like Bogut, do you have someone on the team and you say to them, take out Bogut? I mean, don't take him out, but do you assign a player to a player, or is it more of a team effort?
Well, I couldn't confirm or deny that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You'll be drifting a man-on-man crabbing defence, I would suspect.
What you
Probably
do is you
three
get the
on two.
rabbit and you...
Yes.
Yeah, and you
ring the
ring the
rabbit
rabbit
out.
Bring a jellyfish in.
And what's the expectations for the season, guys? Because let's be fair, you guys have done bloody well. You've won the title so many times. Does that put a lot of pressure on you guys to perform every season?
Yeah, but that's good pressure. That's pressure that you want. You want to have high expectations of winning a championship, and that's why we play the game.
And the vibe off the court's good. The team, it's bonded.
Yeah.
Get a bit of new blood in there.
Yeah, a lot of new blood, a lot of new faces in the team this year. But the
Who do we need to look out for on the new blood front?
We've got 3 new Americans: Sean Long, Patrick Richard, and Marnie Moore. 3 pretty talented
What a
Americans.
great name. What a great name. Marnie Moore.
Marnie Moore.
That's awesome. You like that, Lee? Marnie
I do,
Moore?
mate. I do.
What position's Marnie?
Marnie's a sort of swingman.
The old swingman.
Yeah.
The old swingman. Well,
You used to be a swingman, didn't you?
yeah. But my wife wasn't really into it. So, now listen, guys, all the very best for the season. You've had a pretty solid start, a win away and a loss at home. You'll be hoping for good things at home this next week.
For sure. No, big game for us on Sunday against Sydney. Really need to put our foot down on the home floor and get a good win.
Good stuff.
We'll be rooting for you. Fantastic. Good luck.
Sorry? Tom Abercrombie and Ty Wesley from the New Zealand Breakers in the studio with us. Thanks, fellas. Have a great afternoon.
Cheers, guys.
Bhuja with KFC. Save your hunger with a surf-safe burger bundle tonight.
Make it wit you. Queens of the Stone Age there. Now listen, Snappy Tools are holding Oktoberfest with discounts, bonus offers, new brands and products. To celebrate each day this week, we're giving away a high Koki power tool thanks to Snappy. Just check the Bhuja Instagram story and be the first person to call into Bhuja and name the tool to win it.
Beautiful.
Couldn't be easier, Lee Hart.
So easy.
Funny you should say that.
Not be easier.
I guarantee it will be, though. Now, look, it'll be problematic. So, do we have anyone?
Oh, yes.
Phones are lit up.
Goodness.
Okay.
Oh, Tom, you choose, mate.
Oh,
you
mate.
choose.
All right. How about this one here?
G'day, caller. You're on the Bhuja line. Who are we speaking to?
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Who is it, sorry?
Libby.
Libby, how you going?
I'm bloody better getting through to speak to you guys.
Oh, that's good, Libby.
It's all our pleasure, I tell you.
Whereabouts are you calling from, Libby?
I am calling from Maraito this afternoon out in East Auckland.
Yeah,
nice.
no, Maraito. Well, lovely little spot. Now, Libby, have you been on our Instagram page?
I most certainly have.
Can you, Libby, please tell me what the tool is?
I hope so. I'm hoping that it is a skill saw.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to bring myself in right now on this. Do you want to elaborate on that and perhaps give it a different name for our benefit?
A circular saw?
Oh, boom. Libby,
Yeah.
Libby, you've done it.
I had to do that,
yeah.
Jace, because I believe last year we had this issue. A skill saw, by the way, is a circular saw.
Yes,
But I think a skill saw was a brand originally.
it was.
And it was a very popular. They had a big chunk of the market, so everybody called all circular saws skill saws, and a bit like Electrolux or the Lux for a vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
And it became a thing, but it's actually a circular saw, which you said correctly.
Now, Libby, what are you got some home stuff around home you want to be doing? What are you going to be doing with it, Libby?
Oh, I tell you what, most certainly, living out of Maraito in an old 1950s sort of batch, there's plenty to be done.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Very
Are
nice.
you quite handy with your tools?
Oh, no, look, I'm not going to pretend that I am, but I will be learning, that's for sure.
Good on you.
Great.
Hey, Libby, we'll stay on the line. Congratulations on winning that. And our good mate Petra will sort you out in Studio B.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, mate. Oh, Coldplay. Hello. Interesting.
You put this in the logs, didn't you?
No.
Look at the stars, look how they shine for you, and all the things that you do.
Yellow there, Coldplay.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Look, there's an old saying, never forget your roots. Okay?
Never do.
And, well, no, I didn't mean that. I meant where you come from.
Right.
You look at me a bit funny then, like...
That's all right. I got you now.
How'd you pull? You pulled
You
out a
just
roll,
really
didn't
seem
you?
to be
you go.
writing a whole lot of names.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah.
Just, as you know, I came from Greymouth originally.
Yes.
Okay, just a quick shout out this weekend on the Sunday, I think. They got the Greymouth Street races. for the motorbikes. Okay,
Nice.
great big event. Get
Is
on
that
the
like
website.
in the sort of inner city sort of
It's
area?
on the main street there.
Oh, cool.
And they block it off and they hoon around, and it's going to be fantastic. Great event. Get online, get some tickets. You'll find out easy enough. What are you going to do later on? You any plans for the long weekend? I know you're emceeing something at some point, but
Yeah, I've got a gig tonight. What am I doing this weekend? No real plans. Long weekend, of course. Looking forward to that. It's going to be fantastic. Hey, Lee, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure, man.
Can you remember who you were before the world told you who you should be?
Is that one of those quotes again?
Yeah. Charles Bukowski, actually. He's a bloody good author.
Oh, Chuck Bucker.
Charles Bukowski. I wouldn't have thought Charles would write something like that because he's pretty hardcore,
Yeah, I
Charles
see,
Bukowski.
I can't remember who I was, be honest, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. But just remember, mate, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. All right? Hey.
Oh, there's a gas leak in the studio today.
Yeah. Always do sober what you said you do when you were drunk. That'll teach you to keep your mouth shut.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
That's a good one.
I like that idea.
The trouble is you think you have time. That was Buddha, by the way.
Never blow water into a plug socket through a straw.
That's a goodie. That's almost verging into top tip territory.
I feel like I've walked into the dementia ward.
Yeah. Just a few things that's going through my head at the moment. That's great stuff, Chase.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Hey, plenty more coming up after 6, so make sure you stay tuned. This is Bhuja.
With Lee Hart and Jason Hoist.
Yeah, sure is nice to have your company this Thursday. It must be a bit of a nightmare when you think about if you're a newsreader and you get really complicated names. You know, like in a different... Yeah. It would just be an absolute...
we get it all the time with the cricket commentary and stuff. That's not easy.
Exactly. You must just sort of be reading it and just go, oh, God, I've got no idea how to say that name. Disaster.
Did I tell you I'm writing a book at the moment?
Sure, I thought you were going to say you were pregnant then. But
No. Babe, I've been asked to put a book together called Generic Stories for Radio DJs. So what it is, you know, you've all been in this situation where all I need now is a good generic chit-chat story.
Yeah. Well,
and you've got nothing.
We have 5 or 6 of those on our log every day, don't we?
That's right.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, I'm putting together a bit of a backlog of those, a tool that young up-and-coming DJs can go to.
Yeah.
And for any situation and come up with a generic story about that. You see, it's a tool until they...
You mean that they can use specifically your generic story or maybe feed off
so
your
generic
generic
that they won't
story?
even seem like mine. That's how generic it is.
Right, okay.
I mean, a lot of your stuff will be in there.
Yeah, most of my stuff.
You know, it's just so generic it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
The generic chit-chat.
Yeah.
So it's called Generic Stories for DJs.
I
It's
think
going to
that's
be a real Bible. Most radio studios, I would say, will have one of these, a copy of this in every studio.
You can see DJs of the future, even like young Tom here. You know, he'd have his battered copy of generic. What is it? Generic what?
Generic Stories for Radio DJs.
Generic Stories for Radio DJs. And you know, when you find yourself in that precarious position, you just don't know what you're about to talk about or what you're about to say. The red lights counting down.
Quick. And you quickly flip to page 45.
Yeah.
G'day, New Zealand. You know, funny thing happened to me the other day, and it's just a generic story which I've put in there for you.
Can I do those in the night show tonight?
You can. And what I'll probably do for the young kids that are coming through, there'll probably be an online version, so they can just do it online.
I might sort of put together a book for DJs about inspirational quotes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? God, what am I going to say here? I've just gone through my generic story. And what would be really good is if you could do your generic story that you're talking about, Lee, and then at the end of it have an inspirational quote to sort of tie it all together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you'd buy that, wouldn't you, Tom?
I'm writing all this down.
And remember, mate, as long as the ego runs your life, there are 2 ways of being unhappy. Not getting what you want and getting what you want.
And also, man walking sideways in airport is going to Bangkok.
Yes. You know what would really kick off this hour, mate?
What's that, mate?
Bit of Green Day.
You on some?
Go for it.
There you go, mate.
Can you find some, possibly?
Green Day there on Radio Hodaki. And what a way to kick off the 6 o'clock hour, Lee Hart. Good stuff.
You were dancing so hard to that, Jace.
Yeah, I was, eh?
I'm not supposed to be not dizzy from all that
It was a
headbanging
short
stuff.
little one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. 2 minutes 10, taking the piss a bit, but, what do you say? What do you say? What do you do? What do you do?
Well, not a bad week of radio. I mean, it's not over yet, but...
I would actually say, and I would argue very strongly, Lee Hart, it's probably been our strongest week for a good 6 months.
Wonder why
I mean,
that
you
is.
might having said that, that's Friday, of course, to come.
There's Bogsy out there, look.
Yeah, I know. What's he? I thought he was.
Look. It's all of them.
He looks
I thought he
filthy.
was in Portugal.
It's all the... They must be back.
The top brass coming through.
It's coming back.
Good Lord.
I think they will come in to get a taste of Bhuja. Oh my God, I think they can hear us too.
Get a taste of Bhuja.
Yeah. Oh well. Radio, eh? Radio 101 days, that's how it works.
What does?
Are you doing that lecture next week? That radio school?
Radio 101, how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Totally, I'm doing that. I'm doing that lecture to next Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
When's the prize giving that you're going to for your lifetime achievement
it's been cancelled.
for a part-time DJ?
It's been cancelled.
Why is that?
I don't know. They've suddenly said they haven't done enough. You can't get an award, a lifetime achievement award for doing part-time radio, apparently.
Well, I thought that was specifically what the award was, a lifetime achievement award.
I know they've got rid of that
for
category for budget reasons now.
Right. So there's no longer an
I might
award.
get a part-time lifetime achievement award now.
Right.
Different thing altogether.
Oh,
well.
Should we go into the Killers?
Yeah, let's do it.
The Killers there on Radio Hodaki Thursday afternoon. I just want to clarify, Lee, I'm looking at the log here. Are we doing star signs today or not? Because we talked about it yesterday, and you said that you may be doing star signs today, or 6 star signs today and 6 tomorrow, or
Yep.
do you want to just make it the Friday show we do 12 star
I
signs?
kind of regret doing that now because we've gone right out of sync astrologically now.
Yeah.
With what I was supposed
Well,
to
I
be doing.
did wonder about that at the time.
Yeah, I got home last night and I got the old sextant out.
Yes.
And I was looking up at the stars and I realised my Capricorn is right out of whack.
Yeah.
And it'd be bloody embarrassing reading out what I had for Capricorn if I was going on those readings.
Because those things are so on the money, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so specific, and you know, people rule their lives by that sort
I
of
don't
thing.
want someone ringing me up and saying, I've left my husband or
Yes.
because of what I said in my star reading.
I invested in this business because, you know, it said
Yeah.
take a risk, take a gamble. You know, you could really stuff people's lives up if you get your star signs wrong, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And incidentally, on that front, I will definitely do Today in History tomorrow's show.
Are you going to put that off as well?
Yeah, I'll put that off because we're sort of running out of time, and I've got quite an extensive Today in History.
Will you do the same one, or will you need to update it now? Is it so historical that'll be still relevant?
Oh, look, no, I'll have to do Friday's one.
Of course, because it'll be a different date.
Yeah, because there's no point in me doing Today in History and doing Thursday's one. You know what I mean?
You could go Today in History in 1886, yesterday. This happened.
It just gets a bit overly complicated if you're
Catchy
doing that
title,
sort of
that
stuff.
Yeah. Back in 1784, the day before today, this happened.
It's got a ring to it.
In 1786, a fortnight ago,
The first Today in History column was done.
hey, is this a new backtrack there, Tom?
Oh, you guys were talking about the zodiacs and the stars, and it was sort of.
Well, make sure you save
like
it for
wistful.
when I do it.
I'm liking it.
Just a bit of a full moon last night too, and it really wreaked havoc with my sinuses and my retinas as well. So I really was struggling to do a good tight reading.
On the sextant. Is that what it's called? The sextant. Is it a sextant?
Yeah, it was a sextant that I was using.
Yeah. Okay. And that's how you sort of gauge the stars and where they're at.
Yeah, well, I've got to find the constellation.
Yeah.
And check it out, and
then you draw the corresponding lines. Okay, well, we'll look forward to that tomorrow, mate, as well as
Today in History
tomorrow, or today.
2 weeks ago today.
2 weeks, a fortnight ago. Here's 21 Pilots. Yellow Leadbetter there, Pearl Jam. You're listening to Daily Bhuja this Thursday afternoon. Now, Lee Hart, You'll be aware, as will Tom, of the fact that New Zealanders all over this great country of ours have been gouged on at the petrol station at the moment.
Yep.
The cost of petrol is absolutely ridiculous, and you gave a few top tips a little while ago in terms of how you can save on petrol.
Fuel efficiency.
Fuel efficiency, and you were talking about maybe having fuel drops all around
you're not
the
carrying
place.
so much weight.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a couple of little ideas on that front too, mate. If that's of any use, could I put them to you?
Yeah, sure, mate.
Lee and Jace's top tips. Thanks, Tom.
Jason Lee's top tips.
Now, what you were talking about, of course, is weight. The more weight that you have on your car, of course, the more petrol you're going to burn. It just makes sense. So one of the things I've started doing in terms of getting rid of the weight and getting rid of the resistance that your car has in terms of driving forward is I've taken off my mud flaps around the wheels there.
Well, that's good, actually, because you've got the extra weight, also the drag.
The drag of the mud flaps.
Yep.
And, you know, mate, to be honest with you, I've been driving through mud as well. I haven't noticed any difference. And it stops. It gives you a certain amount of fluency, too, you know, as well as taking the weight off, which is really nice.
And the other things you can do, of course, your bumpers.
Yeah.
If you
Unnecessary.
You know, a lot of them are just totally cosmetic anyway nowadays.
Yeah.
A bit of weight in those. Back windscreen. Do you really need it?
Not really.
You know, it sounds ridiculous on its own, but all these items you've just mentioned, weigh them all together, you're starting to get quite a significant bit of weight there. I actually changed my gear. I had like a 5-speed.
Yeah.
And I dropped the gear and changed the transmission to a 4-speed just while the fuel prices are so expensive.
Yeah, brilliant.
And saved a bit of weight in that area.
Actually, I had a mate, speaking of taking out the back window there, on the car, he just uses Glad Wrap.
Yep.
You know, just Glad Wraps across where the window was. You can still see out, of course. Does the same job. Just make sure it's nice and tight and secure.
You wouldn't use foil, would you?
No, you wouldn't use foil,
Has
obviously.
he still got the window wipers going on the Glad Wrap?
Oh, you don't have on the back window, do you?
No.
Yeah, there's always one on the back.
Oh, well, sometimes there is, yeah.
Yeah, but no, not generally
You'd probably
speaking.
take that off anyway, wouldn't you? For the weight.
You're
The other
right.
thing, I don't eat in the car anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm going to eat something, I'll stand outside the car while I'm eating it. If we're going on a family holiday, you know where you go, has everyone been to the toilet? Or I actually make sure they have now because the extra weight
of their bladders and their bowels. Yeah.
That's right.
Just little tiny things, little grains of sand, Lee Hart, build a beach. Waxing. You know what I mean? People wax their cars because it maintains the outer shell. It prevents rust and things like that. But it's great for the aerodynamics as well.
That's right.
So make sure you wax your car.
Yeah, how often would you do that?
Oh, most days. Because, of course, with the weather conditions that we have, that wax can be affected by rain and moisture and that sort of thing.
Another good little tip, if you can manage it, is Healy mini tyres instead of regular air. Just makes the car overall a little bit lighter again.
Yeah, a bit more buoyant, doesn't it? So just keep those in mind, maybe jot them down on your pads or whatever have you, and just little things like that you'll be saving at the petrol
Speaking
station.
of pads, things like that, open your glove box. Is it full of manuals, all that sort of stuff for the car?
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
You never need them. You never use them. You never use them, Lee. So there you go.
You might need the manual, though, when you're putting all the stuff back in.
Oh,
Might
you
be
will
handy.
put your manual in that drawer that you have with all the plastic bags and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With all the rubber bands and all that sort of crap. So
Good stuff there, Jace.
yeah,
Good
thanks,
stuff.
mate. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a break. This is Bhuja.
Bhuja with KFC's Surf Safe Burger Bundle. Beach Daz.
Gorillas there on Radio Hodaki this Thursday afternoon. Now, I believe young Tom from Studio B, you're leaving us tomorrow as well, mate. Everyone's just abandoning ship at the moment, Lee. Have you noticed
Yeah,
that?
it's a bit
What the hell's
bizarre.
that about?
Where are you off to?
Going up the mountain with my mates, my
Skiing?
girlfriend.
What mountain's that?
Don't actually know, to be honest. It's somewhere near Lake Taupo.
Could be any
Yeah,
number of
told
mountains.
them
What
that.
are you doing, hunting or skiing? Or
A bit of hiking. We'll see what's up there. This might be a few deer, a few chamois.
Okay.
So you do a bit of hunting, do you, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
From the south, mate. Of course, we do quite a lot down there, actually.
You did a bit of hunting in your time, didn't you,
Yeah,
Lee?
well, I've done a bit with you, of course, and I sometimes I'm really into the your rifle and that the stalking, I suppose.
Yeah.
Other times I like to just go out with the crossbow or the knife and strip it right back.
Yeah.
Into the real basics. And remember the Screaming Wheels, of course, the TV show we did the fishing show.
Yes.
There's a lot of talk that we may be doing another series of that with the hunting element as well, showing our tips going into the bush, how to live off the land. It's not just you can go and hiking on the trails that you might be doing. This is real McCoy stuff, you know.
I didn't do so much the hunting as the stalking. You know, I'd put on my combat fatigues and get a bit of burley, not burley. What do you call it? The scroggin, a couple of boxes of matches and stuff, and just a knife, and
you wouldn't
wouldn't
want to be out in the bush with a burley bomb.
No, I did that once actually. I went pig hunting with a burley bomb, bomb, and
that's when you went fishing. You had the scroggin with you.
Yeah, and I had the scroggin, and I was just throwing the scroggin out the side there.
That worked.
But give me a poo and give me a bit of a sniff, and I'll find your animal.
Yep, you're not bad like that. And remember that time a couple of years back we were in the Rimatuckas, were we?
Rimatuckas. Yeah.
Beautiful up there.
Bloody lovely spot. Yeah. She's rugged country,
and I
though.
built that pit, that the
oh
snare, and that dock guy fell in it.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah.
I'm going there again. Don't know what we're fishing up there for anyway.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear from him again, or what's the?
Oh yeah, he was fine. He was fine.
It was more of a just a comedy of errors, really.
Really was. Hey, let's take a break, and that'll be good. Hell of a show.
Yep.
I mean, this whole week there's been a hell of a show.
I'm going to take you through it, Jace.
Yes.
You had your prizes.
You did.
You need them. We had guests.
Yes, we did.
We had your ads tick. We had music.
And we played out Name That Tune.
Yes, we did. And we had a lot of intelligent conversation as well, I'd like to think.
Absolutely, we did, Lee Hart.
Tom, thoughts on the show?
When was the intelligent conversation?
I'm not going to take you through.
You go back later on maybe and review the show, and you might see.
I'm going to do your job for you.
It might have gone over your head, actually, Tom, to be honest.
Too highbrow?
Yeah, maybe. But it's been a hell of a show.
Once again, I just want to do one more quick shout out for this weekend for the Greymouth Street races happening Mackay Street in Greymouth there.
Yeah, nice.
You can find out about that. This is the motorbikes, of course, and it's a lot of fun. It's going to go off. That's this weekend. Sunday, I think. Actually, it's on the Sunday.
Right.
But I think I mentioned it earlier. But anything you want to plug?
No. I've got a charity due to MC tonight, but apart from that, no, nothing particularly. But once again, I will reiterate: if someone's got a car out there they want to sell, then text me on 3483. Tell me what it's all about. Maybe there's some car salesmen out there actually that can do me a good deal.
Yep. Okay.
That's a plug for myself really, which is what I shouldn't really be doing, but I thought I might anyway.
Yeah, well, you got to do it once in a while. Tom, are you doing a night show tonight?
Oh, I am.
And I heard it went pretty well last night.
Yeah, great feedback last night, mate. Whoa,
I broke the text machine of the feedback I was getting last night.
Yeah. No, that's great, mate.
Just a bit of a tip, your first couple of shows, just don't even read the text, mate. Just get on with the show. Don't worry about the text.
Saying some pretty cool things about
it. I'm not saying there wouldn't be. Just...
Actually, very good advice, Lee Hart. Very good advice. New Zealand, it's been great having your company this Thursday afternoon. Make sure you join us for tomorrow's show because it's going to be a real doozy, the Friday show. From Lee, myself and Tom from Studio B, take care out there. Until tomorrow, Bhuja to you.
Anymore. It's an open smile on a friendly shore.